All right, so we've got a Terex R190T, and apparently this one was running just fine and shut off, and they could not get it to come back. So I came out, and first thing I did was verify the complaint. Get your switch, and you've got one harness coming into the cab, just one line. So first thing I did, messed with the switch, didn't have any power up here. Verified at the back side of the switch. Fortunately, with this being an older machine, all the lights are busted out of it, and you can get right to the back of the key switch. Had no power to the key switch. Okay, come back here, pop the hood, check all the fluids, check the battery, and battery's fine. We got good power going all the way over here to the starter down there, and we've got power going to the alternator cable. The harness coming into the cab comes right here. We've got all our grounds here for that harness, and we've got 3 plugs. So I tested power at these plugs here, and there was no power to any of them. So knew the problem was between here, and the harness was not the problem. So trace that harness back. It goes under the engine, down there, around the frame rail. You can kind of see it down there. And it comes under this side and back up into this fuse box. I still didn't have any power anywhere except for these mega fuses here, or whatever they're called, these little ones here. I had no power at all, and all of the relays here I had power to pin 30, but nowhere else. So I started wiggling around, and as I was wiggling the harness all the way from that point there to here, nothing was happening. But as soon as I started moving on the fuse box itself, I started hearing relays clicking, and I thought it was just one, and as it turns out, it was several clicking. And it's important to note that I did not have a wiring diagram for this machine, so fortunately it's pretty simple. We've just got, like I said, we've just got the one harness going to the cab. We got a battery. It's not a very complex machine. So anyways, so what I did was, once I wiggled it to the right point where the relays were powered on, had power to the cab, I unplugged the harness over here, found the pin, one of the pins where power was coming through, and I've got a test light wired up to it. And what was happening is every time I would wiggle it, that light would go out. I put that light there just so I would have a visual, and I wasn't relying on my ears and hearing the clicking of the relays. And it took me a little while to figure out how to get that fuse box out, which is a little embarrassing. It was 2 bolts right there, and that thing flops right over. And so with my visual aid, I started moving my hands around and seeing where the wires went, and I found this wire right here. Whenever I move it like that, we got power in and out. And it looked like there was some sort of nut going through it there, and there may have been a piece on the other side. And if you take a look right here on my borescope, you can see that is the power cable on the other side of this orange one. And watch as I move this orange cable. Yep. As you can see, the bolt nut holding the power cable to the fuse box is loose. So that is why we have intermittent power, like we do. I'm just gonna have to tighten that bolt up, probably put some Loctite in there, and we should be good to go. All right, the wonderful neighbor just finished mowing and pushing all this dust on the machine for me. I went ahead and tightened up that bolt. It really sucked getting that fuse box apart, but once I figured out how you were supposed to do it, it came apart pretty easily. So I went ahead and tightened that bolt, and no movement anymore. We're nice and tight. See how she runs. All right, so just a quick recap on this one. Came here, the machine was a no start, no crank, had no power to the cab. As I was wiggling the fuse box, chasing it down the harness, I began to get intermittent power to the cab, and I narrowed it down to an eyelet that was bolted to the main splitter bar that provides power to all of the fuses. The eyelet was loose, and the vibrations of the machine and the fuse box moving, it was giving it intermittent power. Tightened it up, and we were all good to go.